Hello and welcome to episode 16 of the Outlifting Lounge. This is the show all about pride, fitness and everything in between. I'm Alan. And I'm Derek. Coming up on today's show, we are going to give a catch up on our week. We will cover some gay pop culture news, some pretty funny news, and later on in the show, we'll also be discussing calorie tracking and we'll be giving our top tips for that. Let's go. So, Alan, how has your week been?
The week's been quite good. We had Haggis at the vet on Tuesday. He had to go for his annual vaccines.
Haggis our dog?
Haggis our dog, yes. Just in case anyone doesn't know. And yeah, he's getting on a wee bit now, isn't he? He's almost 10. And we're just seeing signs of him slowing down. And we thought he was getting older, but it turns out that he's just put a few kg on.
Yeah. He needs a personal trainer. He needs a nutrition plan and a wee workout plan, so that's what we've done for him.
Yeah.
We're getting him in shape for summer.
It's funny because obviously he is slowing down a wee bit, so we're taking him on shorter walks. But we didn't actually think about maybe reducing his food a little bit. So yeah, he's on a calorie controlled diet for the foreseeable.
We're tracking his calorie intake, which is something we're going to be talking about later in the show as well.
Yeah, it is.
Not our dog in particular, more about how people track their calories, but yeah.
And then we met our friend Nick on Wednesday for a brunch at a new place that's opened in Playa.
It's really nice.
Really good.
Really good.
Mumbai Cafe, it's called. It's an Indian restaurant, but during the day they do a brunch. And
We got dosas.
We did.
Yeah, they were really nice.
We've had those before. They were delicious. And then on Saturday, we met Nick again for some afternoon drinks in the sun because the weather's just starting to change a little bit here. We actually do have a winter here, believe it or not. December, January, start of February.
And to be fair, the winter here in Gran Canaria this year has been really bad. And to the point where locals have been complaining. They're saying that they can't remember a winter as bad as this.
Now, we need to clarify when we're saying it's a winter as bad as this, it's like 12 degrees. It's cold, like at night. During the day, the temperatures are starting to rise again, which is quite good. So yeah, we'd had some afternoon beers on Saturday in the sun, which was nice.
Yeah, no, it was really, really nice. It's good to stop and just relax and enjoy yourself sometimes, eh?
Yeah, it was good.
It's nice to see the weather starting to really pick up again. It's starting to feel a bit summery. Summer Pride is just round the corner here, eh?
In fact, it is officially 3 months because Pride put something on their Instagram the other day.
Did you see the big announcement for who is on the main stage on Friday night of Maspalomas Summer Pride?
Yes, one of your fellow Irish people.
Nadine Coyle.
Which is a huge headliner to have.
I know. I couldn't believe it. Like, I thought it was a joke. But yeah, no, it's official. They have got Nadine Coyle on the Friday of Pride. And that's not usually the big headliner night either. Normally they've got like a big headliner on the Sunday. So I'm looking forward to seeing who else is announced.
Yeah, it's the 25th anniversary. So I think they're pulling out all the stops in terms of acts. So that'll be good. So we're definitely going to that, right?
Yeah. What's your favourite Nadine Coyle meme? Just out of
interest, not that we've planned this or anything.
Let's play Nadine Coyle memes. We'll insert a little jingle here.
I think it's definitely that time she was on. Is it Saturday Kitchen she was on?
But was it the one that I'm thinking of?
I enjoy cooking bacon and stop working with flour.
Flyer. Yeah.
She's the most dirty girl ever.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. And then obviously the iconic when she was part of Pop Stars The Rivals.
Are you talking about the passport?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that wasn't Pop Stars The Rivals. That was before.
What was it then?
So I'm going to give you a gay education here. So Nadine Coyle originally auditioned for the Irish version of Pop Stars. And she was too young at the time. She was through and they needed to see her passport because I think she did an interview and she slipped up and gave the wrong date of birth, famously. And she rounded off and she said, I think it was like 15th of June 1985, making me a Gemini. I'll come back to that actually.
Nadine Coyle, I'm from Alan and Derec. Date of birth 15th of the 6th, 85, making me a Gemini.
She then was caught out on that lie and then she got booted off the show. But then she came back, I think maybe a couple of years later, and auditioned for Pop Stars The Rivals, and the rest is gay history.
Ah, I thought it was part of Pop Star The Rivals that happened.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, it's so famous that there's actually a drag queen called
Megan Me a Gemini. A good Irish queen.
What a name. That's absolutely brilliant.
Megan Mia Gemini. And she actually met Nadine Coyle once at one of her shows, and she put a post up on Instagram. I thought that was quite cool.
Yeah.
So Nadine's in on it.
So Flyer, making me a Gemini, and what's the other one?
Ah, wasp.
What's that from?
I think it might have been. Do you remember they used to do like T4 on the beach and those kind of things?
Yeah.
It was some sort of outdoor summer festival / concert, and Girls Aloud were performing on stage, and she got attacked by a wasp. She tried to keep going, and she was singing, and she was trying to swat it away, and then she just completely gave up, and you could just hear her over the mic faintly going, "Ah, a wasp!"
Well, at least we know they sing live.
True. Well, Nadine definitely does. She is the main vocalist. I'm not so sure about all of them singing live.
I'm looking forward to seeing her, but I'm a bit dubious about what she's going to be singing.
She will sing all of her hit song,
Would you like to name it?
Insatiable.
Go on then, give us a wee verse.
No. For copyright reasons, we can't put this out on thing, but it'll get flagged.
Okay.
If I sing it, because I'll sound exactly like her, and the copyright check will pick me up and think I'm Nadine.
Okay, saved by copyright. Well done.
Yeah, but she had that, and she had another one. I think it was like Go to Work or something like that. Or am I mixing it up with somebody else? Anyway, should have done more
That
research.
sounds like a hit. So what you're saying is she's probably going to do some Girls Aloud numbers.
I think so. Yeah, she probably will. She'll sing some girls. Let's face it, she provided quite a lot of the vocals for Girls Aloud. So, yeah, why not?
We'll go and see it anyway.
Okay, yeah, definitely. We have to. We'll make a sign.
Flyer.
Flyer. Ah, wasp. Speaking of gay icons, I just wanted to talk about the young guy, Mathew from Edinburgh, that was on The Chase like a week or two ago.
Absolute queen.
Diva icon.
Yes.
Brilliant. We love The Chase. What's your favourite thing about The Chase, Alan? Go tell the people.
When we play our game at the start, we have to guess people's ages. So just before they introduce themselves, we pause it and we're like, oh, what their age? And then they tell us their age, and then we celebrate or commiserate if we got it right or wrong.
Yeah, so an example would be we'd pause it and we'd look, and I'd be like, oh, I think he's going to be 69, and you'd say, oh, 75, and then we unpause it, and
Turns
he's
out
like,
he's 54. We're like, oh, sorry.
yeah.
Quite often we're like a year or two either side, which is quite good. And sometimes we get it way wrong and we make them a lot older than what they are, which is whoopsie.
Well,
Hard paper round and milk round.
there was a guy on an episode that we watched recently, and I think he was 38, and we thought he was in his 20s, so it goes the other way as well.
Yeah.
Some people clearly are on the retinol, some aren't.
That's one of our favourite games to play. And can I just say, we're going to digress as we normally do. But one of our other favourite games we used to play was in Tesco at the self-service, where you scan your card to release the handset, and we used to try and guess
Yes.
which one it was going to be, and whoever lost had to pay for the shopping.
Which didn't really mean much because we had a shared account.
So if anyone hasn't played that yet with their partner or friend or family, play it. It's quite fun.
It is good fun, and we got some very weird looks when we were playing it because we didn't hold back.
We either celebrated or was like, oh,
God, we're really digressing here, but the other game that we play, now we're here in Gran Canaria, is the Reggie Plate game. So there are no personalised registration plates here. They are all in sequential order. So the last 3 digits are 3 letters, and they go up. So at the minute we're on N something something. So we were on NJ. and it went
NJZ was the last
NJZ.
one I got.
And then once it had Z, it goes to NK. So we've both been looking everywhere to see, can we see an NK somewhere?
There's no vowels in the Reggies, so the next one would be NKB.
Oh, right. What's one above that?
NKC that you just got on the dog walk there with Haggis.
Yeah, so I found an NKC, so I am currently the winner.
And do you know what? We don't actually win anything apart from the glory being like one up on you.
So we tend to just take a little photo and send it to each other when we're out if we're not together, and then
Yes.
the other person's like, rats.
I don't think I said rats earlier.
No,
I think
but you've already said enough curse words that I'm going to have to beep out, so
it was another 4-letter word that began with
was.
C.
quite proud of that one. So yeah, there's just this constant battle to see who can see the most recent Reggie player. It's quite boring,
It is.
quite sad.
It is. Right, well, we'll get back to Mathew on The Chase.
Yes. So Mathew is diva icon. Yes. Puts the house down. Okay.
What was that? Okay.
Don't know. So yeah, Mathew was the diva of all divas. He was absolutely brilliant. He left the chaser absolutely speechless. Let's roll a clip.
Hello, Mathew.
Hello, gorgeous.
I'm speechless.
Hello, gorgeous. I'm speechless. Join the club.
I'm speechless.
Sorry, but to be fair, handsome.
And do you know what? It wasn't just that moment. Every single time he was on camera, even if he wasn't talking, he was absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, no, he was good. And I think he put the chaser off his game as well because he managed to get through.
Totally.
And he wasn't the
Spoiler.
yeah, spoiler. And he wasn't the best player either. I think he got through on sheer luck and a little bit of gay sprinkle.
What you like at quizzing?
No, not bad. I'm here for the good time. Let's give it a go.
I'll wish you luck.
I need it.
We stan a gay diva.
Let's talk about another absolute diva, Joe Marler in drag.
Joe Marler was on Celebrity Traitors. He's the big softy rugby player who is amazing. He's just like what every guy should be. Every straight guy.
Yeah, actually, his podcast is brilliant. If no one follows him, go and follow him on Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to his podcast because he's so good.
Yeah, he's a great guy. But yeah, he's done drag 3 times that we know of, probably more now. And so far, he's done drag so many times, he actually has a drag name now.
Which is?
Josephine Drama.
Brilliant. So the clip that I saw was Michael McIntyre doing that bit in his show where he wakes people up in the middle of the night. So he went into Joe Marler's bedroom, lucky him, and then woke up Joe, and then Blue Hydrangea came in and dragged him up. Like, he just goes with it. He's absolutely brilliant. And then you saw another clip recently.
Yes, so Ellie Diamond gave him another makeover as well. And it was just a little clip. I think it's for comic relief.
Yeah.
So good though. He just does not care. There is no toxic masculinity in that man's body. He is what every straight guy should aspire to be. Somebody who's just a really positive, fun role model.
So we've talked about drag queens, we've talked about divas on the chase, we've talked about actual divas, Nadine Coyle. What else has been entertaining you this week?
Normally we do a bit of gay news. This is slightly different. So let me just get the laptop for this one. Did you see the Bombshell report? Literally, this is the headline that I read on LBC. It is shell-shocked. Hospital evacuated after doctors find unexploded World War I bomb lodged in man's rectum.
I mean, where do you even start with that?
Probably the tip, I would imagine. Oh, if you're taking it out the other end then. I'd like, how?
Why?
Well, I know why, but like how? So,
Let's go back to why.
why do people do anything? So the story is pretty funny. I don't need to read any more than the actual headline because the story is exactly that. What is even better though are the comments on the Facebook post. You can probably imagine what they're like. You haven't seen these yet, have you?
No.
So these are going to be genuine reactions from you. Must have been in some pain. The man, known locally as Napoleon Bonaparte, was later discharged.
Oh, I like that one.
That's some arsenal he's got there.
Good one.
Taking bang my back door in a bit too far. Did someone call in the bum disposal to diffuse it? Oh, very, very good. Fire in the hole. Oh, God.
Right, one more.
World War II.
Yeah, so I think we could probably just leave that one there.
I suppose you could do World War II, or also an alternative would be the Third World War.
Wow. That was
Yeah.
a good one. Well done.
Thank you. Hopefully he's all right and he's recovering now. Apparently he was in some discomfort.
No wonder he's got a bomb up his arse.
And I think that's all we've got to say about that.
And that's the tea.
And that is the tea. Right, that is all the gay news that we've got this week, because I think we're a bit speechless after that. So shall we move on to the fitness section?
Yeah, let's change the topic. Let's go for it. So we reached the fitness section of the show and we found a post on Reddit, and the title of the post is "Anyone else struggle with staying consistent with calorie tracking?" And we find that this is quite a barrier for a lot of people, so we thought this would be really good to cover on the show. So this person has written, "I've tried tracking calories multiple times, but logging every meal eventually burns me out. I'm curious how beginners here handle this long term. Do you track strictly, estimate portions, or use a different approach?"
I really like this post. I struggle with calorie tracking, and some of my favorite comments under the post here I'm going to read out. So the first one is about routine. This person says, "I eat the same stuff every day, which for me is not a hardship, and it helps me stick to my plan."
Yeah,
Pretty
I,
solid.
I think a lot of people do that. We certainly do that. We usually have the same breakfast, the same lunch. Our dinners are different, and then we'll probably have the same snack. So it's just an easy way of being consistent with it.
Yeah. And then in your tracker, you can literally just copy that meal across from the previous day, and it makes it a lot quicker and easier. The next comment that I wanted to touch on is about go-to meals. So we kind of touched, there's a bit of overlap here, but they say, "I personally don't track every calorie. I kind of just cycle through the same 8 or 9 meals depending on the season." So it's pretty good. They've got the go-to meals that they do. They know what that is. They've maybe already got the meal in their calorie tracker, and then that's it. Just makes it really easy to log. So number 3 is about ready-made meals. We prefer to cook pretty much everything from scratch, but that's not for everybody. So this person says, "I know exactly how many calories are in my mouth up until dinner. I buy frozen lunches and make sure they're all in the range of about 300 to 500 calories." Pretty good advice as well.
Yeah, it's really good, especially if you're tight on time. You need to find something that's going to fit into your schedule, your routine. And if you know what the calories are in those meals and they're between a certain amount, brilliant.
Not going to be for everybody. That approach wouldn't be for us, but for some people that could be absolute gold. The next comment was about investing in equipment. So the comment was, "Some people use a scoop for their carbs. So for instance, they know that a third of a cup that they have of cooked rice is about 70 calories, and about a half of the cup is just over 100 calories. So they don't necessarily weigh everything, but they, for certain foods, have got things that they can quickly measure in. So that's good too. And the last one I wanted to touch on was about guesstimation. So this person says, "To be honest, I just get a rough idea of my protein, carb, and caloric intake. By no means do I hyperfixate or truly track it." You're probably not going to agree with that one.
Correct.
So we are coming at this from 2 different angles. We have got 2 very different points of view on this issue, and we are going to present those 2 contrasting views without hitting each other.
We'll try. We'll try.
Without arguing.
No, the thing is, I do see it from both sides. I think though, if you have a goal and you want to reach that goal, it's better to be a bit more focused on your calorie intake. And I use this phrase quite a lot. If you're not assessing, you're just guessing. So I might go a little bit bad cop here, and usually I am good cop. Now, if someone tells me that they don't have time to log their food, I might approach it with ways to help them. There's certain tricks on MyFitnessPal that you can use. You mentioned one just there about copying food, but it literally takes 5 minutes to do something like that. Now, you're looking at me and your eyes are boring right through me because I know what you're going to come in with. So you tell me from your point of view.
I think before we do, it might actually be good to take a minute out to explain why calorie tracking is important.
Go for it.
So, again, as you already said, it depends on your goals. But if your goal in general is to lose body fat or to put on muscle, you do need to calorie track, and you need to track your macronutrients. So that is carbohydrate, protein, and fats. And you probably want to track your fiber intake as well, because that's pretty important too. So the reason that this is so important is because, as you say, if you're not assessing, you're guessing. And from my point of view, I know that I tend to underestimate. So I can think that I'm getting enough calories, enough protein, and then when I log what I've eaten in a day, I suddenly realized, no, I'm not eating enough to reach my goals. So that's why it's important for me. Some people may think, oh, I don't want to do that, but it is a necessary evil.
Do you know what? When clients start tracking their food, it is a bit of an awareness and education because they're like, oh, like you just mentioned, I'm actually under where I should be. That's generally what happens most of the time. And being in a chronic deficit all the time isn't a good thing. It really messes with your hormones. So actually tracking your food gives you a good idea if you're hitting your macros, which are super important, and if you're hitting your calories as well. Now, I will say I know it's a pain in the arse because it's just something else that you need to do, but it's so, so, so important. You could be spending hours in the gym and putting in all the work, but if your nutrition isn't on point, it's just totally pointless. And it's funny because when clients come to us, and I think we've touched on this before, they think it's the workouts that's going to be the hard part, but actually that ends up being the really easy part. It's tracking their food and being consistent with it that is the tough part. But once they get that, everything just falls into place.
I get how important it is, but the point of view that I'm coming from is that I also know how difficult it is. It's not difficult for you, but from my little ADHD brain, it is really, really difficult not only to start the habit of calorie tracking, but to stay in the habit. And some of it comes from that all or nothing mindset as well that we all can fall into, where if you forget to log something, that's it ruined. And I kind of think it needs to be perfect. But it actually doesn't need to be 100% perfect because it's not 100% science here. It's impossible to know exactly how many calories you're taking, exactly how many calories your body's expending. All of this is a bit of an estimation, but because we're taking it over days and weeks and months, everything kind of averages out and you can tweak it a little bit. And if you're taking your measurements, you're weighing yourself over that time, you can know if a certain calorie intake is going to be too much or not enough for you based on the results that you're getting. So it's not an exact science anyway. So I think that would be the first tip that I would give. Don't focus on perfection here. It's more about just logging.
Yeah, get into the habit of it. It's like we've spoke about before. You've got an end goal, but what is it that gets you there? It's all the little building blocks to get you there. And part of that is logging your food. So like you were saying, see if all you can do this week is log all your breakfasts. Do that. At least you're getting those in.
Or another approach would be if you cannot commit to logging everything every single day, why not start off, meet yourself where you're at. So start off perhaps logging your food one day a week. Pick the day that you know that you can do it. Maybe it's at the weekend. Maybe you can do it twice a week. Maybe you can do it every other day. Whatever you can commit to that. Get in that habit first and then see how you can increase that. That's one way to do it, definitely.
If you're someone that's already tracking the food relatively consistently, but maybe you forget and then it's halfway through the day and you're like, oh no, I haven't tracked today. Try and track it the night before. So when you're lying in bed, when you're doom scrolling, take 5 minutes out, jump into MyFitnessPal. If you know what you're going to be having the next day, like we mentioned earlier, we generally eat the same things every day. And if you've meal prepped, you've already got that stuff there. Stick it into your MyFitnessPal because you're probably less likely to deviate from that as well because you know what's already in there.
Yes, that is really good advice. And perhaps it might be the morning time that somebody can do that rather than the night before. But that is a bit of a revelation for some people because when they think of tracking, they think it has to be then and there in that moment while they're putting the thing in their mouth that it gets tracked. No, you can actually put your stuff in advance. You can put it in that morning, the night before. You could do it 2 days before. You can plan out, put it in there so that all you need to do on that day is maybe minor tweaks. So add a snack or take something out that you didn't eat. That can really help as well. On the flip side of that, doing it in reverse. So say there are times of your day where you are really busy and you know that you're not going to track something and you're getting stressed out about it. Take a photograph and then commit to each night just catching up with yourself. So it could be a wrapper of something that you've eaten, or it could be your food, or even just the ingredients if you're cooking something to remind you later on. Or you could keep a little notepad while you're cooking and just quickly write down what you're putting in and take a photograph of that and then input it later. It doesn't necessarily need to be then and there.
And actually, a lot of calorie trackers will allow you to enter data a week, 2 weeks in advance. So if you know for the next 2 weeks you're going to be eating the same breakfast, the same lunch, the same snacks, stick all those in, and then the only thing you need to add in then is your dinner.
There are two more things I would probably say about calorie tracking. Number one is it's a bit laborious at the start. So when you started doing it, it does take a long time to log everything, but over time, most calorie trackers, most of the digital calorie trackers apps in your phone have got a recently used items function. So it will bring those up quickly because they are already there in your personal database. And that gets a lot quicker because inputting things doesn't take as long. And the other thing I wanted to say is while there are lots of great calorie trackers out there, there is this whole flood on the market. And I know this because I keep getting advertisements for them, but these AI calorie trackers, and they basically promise you that all you need to do is take a photograph of what you're eating and it will accurately log what's in that. And that's nonsense. That will not work. It will be able to give you some sort of guesstimation, but it's going to be a really out there guesstimation, which is not going to be accurate enough for your needs.
Yeah, I wouldn't rely on those at all. You may as well just not track.
No, because the thing is, you could take a photograph of a plate of mashed potato, and that mashed potato could just have like perhaps a little bit of milk in it and nothing else. But you could take a photograph of a different plate of mashed potatoes, and there could be, a whole pack of butter in there. Like the calorie tracker, the AI element of it is not going to know what's in that.
Yeah.
So it can give you a ballpark. It can look at it and say, oh, well, this is what it thinks is in mashed potato, but it's not going to work.
No, definitely not.
So don't fall for it. Do not pay for these AI trackers that promise to just
Yeah.
track it through a photograph.
Yeah. There's pros and cons to it all, I think as long as you know what your goal is and what you need to do to get to your goal, pick what's going to work for you in the short term, and then you can just build on that. I think that's probably the overarching message that we're trying to give here, eh?
Yeah, definitely. Just don't overcomplicate it. Do what you need to do in order to make this work. If that means that you need to sit down for an hour someday and just think through about these different tips, about different ways to approach it, about how you can do it, stop stressing yourself out about it, basically.
Yeah, drop us a message as well. Like, we love chatting to people about this kind of stuff and helping people out. So if you're stuck with a calorie tracker, or you don't know where to start, or you don't even know what your calories should be, then just give us a shout and we'll answer your questions.
And how can they get in touch?
So you can get in touch by either sending us an email at podcasts@outlift.ing, or you can catch us on social media, and our handle there is @outlift.ing.
And we'd love to hear from people, so please do, if you've got a question, get in touch. Are we done then with calorie tracking for the moment?
I think we are, yes.
Let's wrap up the show. Thanks as ever for tuning into the show. Just while we're talking about calorie tracking, I want to touch on one of the things that we do for our clients. If you don't know, Alan and I run Outlifting, which is a service for gay, bi and trans guys who want to change their bodies while building unstoppable confidence. So we're talking online personal training, nutrition support, accountability coaching, and much more. One thing we do have as a service for our members is an online member hub, and that has got a searchable database of recipes, and we add new recipes every week to that. On every recipe, there is a barcode that they can scan with their MyFitnessPal calorie tracker, and that automatically logs a serving of that recipe into MyFitnessPal, and that's all they need to do. Scan and go. So there is so much more to it. If you are somebody who has struggled with calorie tracking though, and you want extra support and you think you might benefit from what we do, all you need to do is book in for a no pressure, free discovery video call with one of us. I will put the link in the show notes or the description, and you can just click on that, pick a time that suits you, book in for the free call, and we'll have a chat about your goals, and you can figure out if we are the right fit for you as well. As I said, totally no pressure, no obligation. That is free to use, so book in now.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on the conversation. And you can find us on all streaming platforms, including YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Amazon Music.
But that's us for another week. Until next time, over and outlifting.